Welcome into another episode of Tom Sox Weekly. I'm your host, Landon Weaver, and the Tom Sox have had a number of exciting moments this week, so let's go ahead and take a look at what's been going on.
Behind Davila, who fires in a fastball, and Gamster sends it a long way to left center field. Bat goes long. Goodbye, baseball! Preston Gamster has his first Tom Sox homer. It's a solo shot in bottom one to give Charlottesville an early lead.
One guy that's been tearing it up for the Tom Sox is Andrew Manley. The Wofford product has been batting over 400 during the season, but one thing you may not know about him is that he comes from a super athletic family. Our very own Daniel Stein is going to take some time to throw the football around and learn a little more about him. Take it away, Daniel.
What's up, Tom Sox fans? I'm Daniel Stein here alongside Tom Sox outfielder Andrew Manley. And while we know Andrew as the sweet-hitting outfielder who's been doing really well in his stint with the Tom Sox so far, what you might not know about him is that he was a dual sport athlete in high school, mainly with the football. So I'm here today to hear more about that. Andrew, thanks for coming on the show.
Of course, thanks for having me.
So, first question for you. You grew up in a household with a lot of professional athletes. You have two brothers who played collegiate football and baseball respectively. Your grandfather played football, your dad played football. What is like your earliest like sports related memory?
Probably have to be playing baseball actually. Playing t-ball when I was about 4 or 5. And my mom would have to run down to first with me because I didn't know which way to go.
And so growing up in kind of like a household full of athletes, like what was the childhood like? Were you guys just kind of always growing up going to different games, or how was it?
It was interesting. It was very competitive. I would always go to my brother's baseball and football games. I was the youngest, so I was always dragged along to all of them. And it was just a super competitive household, with whatever sport it was. It was always pretty competitive.
And so you're the youngest of 3, right?
Yes.
So you had 2 older brothers, and was there any pressure on you as you were kind of coming up and watching them go kind of do the same thing that you eventually got to do?
I think a little bit. I think a lot of it was self-induced. Throughout my life, my parents always, tried to not put any pressure on me. But, just seeing what both my brothers and my family has accomplished, I think there was a little bit of pressure, but I think pressure was also a good thing, and it pushed me to be where I am today.
And so you grew up in Georgia in a very kind of, Georgia is a state where a lot of pro football players come from. Describe like growing up and operating in that athletic arena and that competition. Like, how was it as a player? You talked about the pressure, but was it, how was it as daunting as it seems?
I think so. I think as you got older, you kind of settled in and it wasn't as daunting, but I went to Marist in Atlanta, and it's a big sports school, so I think, growing up there, going to all the football games and the baseball games and all the sports, and then seeing my brothers go through it, it was pretty how would you say it, competitive. It was pretty intense. A lot of days practicing, a lot of fans at the games. So yeah, it was pretty fun, but it was also intense.
And so when you were at Marist, you were part of two sports there. You had baseball and football. So that football team, you won a state championship, correct?
I did.
So what was it like playing for that team? I know you played two different positions. You're doing a little bit of running back, but also in the linebacking core too. I mean, how was it with that loaded team?
It was awesome. We went undefeated, won the state championship in 2020. There was a bunch of talent on that team. It wasn't, just a one-man show. It was everybody doing their part. But it was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Let's see. I've warmed up my arm a little bit, so trying to make the throws as I need. So in that high school environment in Georgia, was there a player that stuck out that you played against that was like, wow, this person's going to the league, or like this guy was tough to face?
Definitely. In the state championship game, we played Jefferson, and their quarterback and their defensive back was Malachi Starks, who played for Georgia, and he got drafted by the Ravens this year. And then another player that stood out to me was my senior year. We played Benedictine in the third round of the playoffs, and they had a running back, Justin Thomas, who played football and baseball actually, and he ended up playing baseball for Arkansas. It was in the World Series this year.
Yeah. And so you start out playing football and playing baseball at the same time. Do you feel that your experience playing high school football in Georgia also has like kind of informed how you play baseball, or like is there like kind of a similar like training regimen kind of, or how does that inform it?
I think so. I think just playing a bunch of sports in high school when you're a kid kind of helps you become more athletic, and kind of helps you kind of grow into being an athlete. I think playing football from a young age and all throughout high school kind of taught me to be a little tough, just playing hard regardless of the situation. And I also think it taught me kind of how to, when you get hit in the mouth, how to bounce back.
And so talk a little bit about how you were making a decision to go to college as you progressed through high school. Did you have kind of a decision to make whether you wanted to play football or baseball?
I did. At first, I kind of wanted to play football in college, but as I get older, I kind of feel like I was a little better at baseball, and just my skill set was better for baseball. And I eventually picked baseball, but I definitely did want to play football at some points of my high school career.
Did you have offers to play football?
I did not. I think if I kind of put myself out there more, and went to some camps, I could have, but I don't think I could have gone to as big of a school as I wanted to playing football.
Well, a couple years later, it does seem like that you made the right decision. You've played at Wofford for a couple years now, including that team that made the NCAA regional for the first time, where you were part of that all Chapel Hill regional tournament team. And so describe playing for that team. How was it getting there for the first time, and describe kind of that experience of playing for a team that was fighting to do something that they haven't done before?
It was awesome. It was led by a bunch of seniors, a bunch of guys who've been in the program for a while, and really just knew how to play the offensive style of Wofford baseball. So I kind of learned a lot from them, and I think playing in the Chapel Hill Regional was really cool, especially playing against LSU. It was a lot of fun.
And so how would you describe the Wofford brand of baseball?
I would say gritty.
Yeah.
I think we're a pretty small ball team, but at the same time, we can hit balls hard, we can make plays, but I just think we just find a way to scratch and claw and get a win. When things aren't looking good, we're never going to give up, and we're just going to do our best to put our brand on the field.
Not dropping one. Not yet. Haven't dropped one yet. And so for the Tom Sox so far, you've had a really hot start. You're hitting over 400. You're also one of the handful of guys on the team that's played as much college baseball as you have. Do you think that that extra experience has helped you so far in the Valley?
I think so, definitely. I think having a couple seasons under my belt, going into my last season, it's definitely helped me in summer ball, just to have a good mindset, go out there and compete every day. I think just having that experience has made me a better player. And
so looking ahead a little bit, you'll be entering your senior season at Wofford. And what are your goals for that season? Is there anything in particular that you want to accomplish that you haven't necessarily yet?
I mean, obviously we want to win a SoCon championship. Ideally, we'd win the regular season championship and the tournament, and hopefully make a run in a regional. But I'm just looking to have some fun with the guys, win a lot of games, and just grow as a player and a person.
Yeah. All right, if you want to humor me, I'm going to go deep.
All right.
There you go. Good toss, good toss. Let me see if I can get one from there.
There we go.
There you go. I got one. All right, so my last thing, this isn't necessarily a question, but so your Uncle Patrick, he played for the Bears. Did you ever go to any games at Soldier Field?
I did. I went to a good bit. I was still young when he was playing, but my parents would take us along whenever we could. And it was a lot of fun. I remember getting to go in the practice facility, getting to go into the locker room, and we got to meet a couple of the superstars of that team, so it was a lot of fun.
Do you remember which players you met?
I met Matt Forte, Jay Cutler, and Devin Hester.
Yeah, there you go. Now, so here's something about me. So I grew up in Chicago.
Really?
And so those players that you mentioned, Cutler, Forte, Hester, those are my favorites. So I want to show you something.
Okay.
So the first Bears game that I ever remember going to, this is August 15th. It's a preseason game versus the Chargers. Know who that is?
That's my uncle.
That's your uncle right there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Patrick Manley, he was the long snapper for the Bears for like 15 years. And so when I was doing preliminary research on the Tom Sox and your team, I was like, wait, Manley, hold on. I scroll down, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
So here we go. All those years later, Manley and Stein linking up again. So Andrew, I really appreciate you being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
This past week, the Tom Sox took a trip up to Winchester to face the Royals, and Jeremy Rose decided to vlog the entire trip. Let's see how that turned out.
Is this thing on? What's up, Tom Sox Nation? Welcome into the first official real road trip of the year. We're on the way to Winchester right now. Figured we'd go out and vlog the entire experience. I'm Jeremy Rose. I'll be along the way throughout this whole vlog, so let's get going. So the guys in the back of the bus right now are playing a game of Mafia. Give you a little montage of everything going on. We'll get the reactions of everything. So sorry it's a little bumpy, bus, you know. All right, we are here at Shenandoah University. We're the home of today's game, of course, against Winchester. I'll give you guys a little view of the field. I'm gonna go up on top of the bleachers. Don't ever say we're not dedicated to our craft. All right, we've made it to the bullpen here. We're gonna get a little bullpen review going with a couple of the guys. So yeah, let's get rolling here with bullpen review.
Where are we at? Winchester? Shenandoah. We're going to test out their plywood.
All right, we're here with Tim Lawson, today's starting pitcher for the Tom Sox. Tim, new field, nice day. Turf field, how we feeling?
I'm not a big fan of turf, but, you know, it doesn't really matter where we're at. You know, hopefully we take the W. No, we don't. Wow. We use dirt.
No fancy turf at UNC, just the dirt. For
What do you have on the plyo
the Tar Heels? Yeah, we've already looked at the plyo wall. Thoughts on the plyo wall?
I don't throw plyos, so, I mean, it won't affect too much, but that is terrible.
What are we looking for today? How many innings we going?
Hopefully like 3.
3, sounds good.
There you go.
That's all for the bullpen review. Decent bench in there as well. Gonna be a good day for the guys. We're on our way over to the dugout now. We're gonna do a little bit of dugout review before the guys start to get loose. All right, we're here with Cole Cleveland for today's dugout review. Cole, take it away.
Hey, I would say that this dugout review out of 10 would be a good 7 out of 10. You got great. It's perfect in the armpits right here where you can lean and watch the game, watch your boys play. And then you turn around, you got a lot of room. And great room to put your stuff, and a lot of walking area. So 7 to 8 out of 10.
Okay, so enough about the players. Today's responsibilities include running the Twitter and additional social medias. We have a little on-air hit that we're going to do. Going to be a fun day from the good old intern team. We'll go through and meet the rest of the interns momentarily. All right, on that list of additional responsibilities, also taking pictures for today's game. Team just kind of took the field. Things are getting started. We're going to go take some pictures. They're going to pop up right here, and right here. All right, vlog. We bought a hamburger, no cheeseburger, just a hamburger, $4.50 from the concession stand. It's got some there's some red pepper flakes, it looks like, on the bottom side of the bun, which I'm pretty excited for. I mean, there's going to be some good flavor on there. So 1 second, little review. Not bad. For a $4.50 concession stand burger, we're going to give it a nice little 7.2. What's up? All right, we're here sitting, the field's right there. We got a great view for tonight's outing. We got the mound visit. Starting lineups are being announced. Just ran through, edited some pictures. We did our little on-field hit. And now we're going to get our scorebook set up and get this thing rolling. What is up, Tom Sox? We are 2 innings in to the game here. That's Nate down there. Currently down 1-0. JD Wolf, our Air Force Academy player, up at the plate. Let's tune into his at-bat. JD's on first. He had a great single in the left center. Now it's time for Kyle at the dish. All right, Tom Sox Nation, rough 1-0 loss, 2-hour and 15-minute affair here. We got some great action from the 3 arms on the mound today. Lawson went a great 3. We got 4 innings of relief from Bradley Link, as well as an inning from the new guy, Saxon Roberts, who came out and absolutely shoved a great inning. So a rough loss out here. Pitching staff looked great. Defense looked great. The bats just couldn't get things rolling. A rough loss, but we move on. We'll be on the road again tomorrow. All right, Tom Sox Nation, it is officially 12:26 in the morning. We have made it back to the Ville. There goes our charter bus out that way. Thank you guys for tuning in to today's adventure. And continue to tune in to Tom Sox Weekly. We will give you guys a bunch of fun segments just like this, and stay tuned in all season long.
Great stuff, Jeremy. A lot of Tom Sox players have stood out this season, and 2 of them didn't get to play for their respective colleges over the course of the spring. Trevor Booten from Auburn and Patrick Neas from Gardner-Webb. Ben Rikosh got a chance to sit down with them on the On Deck podcast. Let's see what they had to say.
Yeah, you just got to enjoy the moments out here, just when you're out here shagging BP and just out here just playing catch or in the game, just chit-chatting, because it's a grind. I mean, 6 days a week, every day having 1 off day a week is a lot. You just got to have your priorities straight, get to bed, get up, get breakfast, go to the gym, have lunch, relax, come to the field. You just got to be diligent about your ideas and be on top of everything.
Let's get into sort of your past and how you got here. I heard that the reason you didn't play at Gardner-Webb this season was because before the year you got hit in the face by 2 baseballs. How true is that, and what's the story behind each situation?
Yeah, so in the preseason we were having scrimmages within our team, and I squared up for a bunt and I just took one off the nose. Right before the season got started, and then I was trying to get back. First live AV back, the same exact thing happened.
No way.
But this time I was actually hitting. It wasn't as severe, but it still put me back a few.
So what was the recovery process like for those?
It was pretty tough. It was just regular concussion protocol, but for the first one it was pretty severe, so I had to take a long break before I even started the protocol.
But it wasn't like a broken nose or anything like that? Was it anything that difficult and that severe?
The nose was broken, but there's not too much you can do for a broken nose, so it was more just head stuff, concussion stuff.
So with 2 concussions, that kind of put you out for an extended period of time during the season? Yeah.
It did for sure, and then it also made it hard to get back comfortable in the box with just the constant thought of being hit in the face.
That's something I talked about with Coach Jim a couple weeks ago, is both the mental side of injuries and the physical side of injuries. Like, you got to get your body ready to play, but then you also have to get your mind ready to play, and especially with the concussion, that has to be pretty detrimental.
Right. So my dad grew up playing lacrosse. He played college lacrosse at Radford.
Wow,
so
that's cool.
we were a big lacrosse family, but I chose baseball. So my family kind of had to make that switch to a baseball family, but they took to it very well. I played basketball and baseball. Sports were always huge, but eventually chose baseball.
That kind of gets me into where I want to go. Is baseball always a thing that you were looking at from a young age? Was it lacrosse? Was it basketball? Tell me about your other sports.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think I was a pretty good basketball player. I know JD said the same exact thing, but
do you have an NBA comp or something like that?
I would say Nikola Jokic.
Really?
At a young age, but I didn't grow as much as he did. But yeah, no, definitely basketball was as important to me, if not even more than baseball was, but I think I made the right choice.
So you played all the way through middle school?
Yes, yeah. And then I was gonna play in high school, but I got the opportunity to go to IMG Academy, which it would be tough to do it there.
And then how about lacrosse? Lacrosse is pretty big in the Northern Virginia area.
Yeah.
Was that something you were ever into?
Not really, not me playing. I still watch the finals every year and stuff, but I never really got into it playing-wise.
This is something I like to ask a lot of guys, whether it's basketball or the little that you know about lacrosse. How do you use those different skill sets to inform your baseball abilities, or even for baseball, how do you use those skill sets even if you're just playing pickup basketball?
Yeah, no, I definitely do like to play pickup basketball when I can, because it definitely improves athleticism that you don't get on the baseball field. So it can only help, and I kind of was able to transfer the athletic abilities from the basketball court onto the diamond.
One of the things I think about basketball a lot is sort of the agility and the footwork, right? And especially being an infielder, that's something that's really important, whether it's at third or at first. Do you see that to be true, especially sort of using your feet and your mind in conjunction with one another?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's good to just exercise every type of agility and athleticism you can, and it all translates.
I always see you as one of the first guys in the cage, one of the last people to leave at night. Would you say that your work ethic is something that defines you, and where does that come from?
Yeah, well, I think it really started during COVID. I realized that baseball was what I wanted to be elite in, and ever since then I've worked pretty hard, I believe. This is a big summer for me, so I want to play a good amount next year and leave a statement next year, but I enjoy working with Coach Joey, coming in here early with him. He's a great guy, he's a great coach, and I'm pretty blessed.
Does that stat that I mentioned a minute ago, most at-bats on the team, 52, mean anything to you?
It does. They really do believe in me. Ups and downs, they've put me in the lineup pretty much every game, so I really do believe that they believe in me, and I love those guys.
For the full conversation with both Trevor and Patrick, check it out on tomsox.org or wherever you like to get your podcasts. We thought we'd wrap things up with something a little more fun this week. Here's Luke Stefanisco.
What's up, Tom Sox Nation? Luke Stefanisco here, and the baseball season can be a long grind. So today, we're gonna help some of the guys relax and show them some old photos of themselves and ask them to sign it with this Sharpie. Let's take a walk. Tim, I got a question for you.
Yeah, what up?
Did you, mind signing this for me?
Yeah, probably not, but that's pretty funny. I didn't know which, I knew he was going to be picturing me, but I didn't know which picture it'd be, and I'm upset that it's this one.
No, it's all good. Quick question. Do you mind signing this for me? Of course.
Inside it? Or?
Yeah, inside.
That's tough. That's some heat right there.
Appreciate it, Bradley.
Of course, dude. Of course.
Thank you.
That's some heat right there.
Mind signing this for me?
Sure.
Solid picture. I haven't seen this one in a while. Put a big heart on it just for you.
Appreciate it, Trevor.
No problem.
Thank you. Do you mind signing this for me? We got another one if you want to sign the other one too.
There's another one of me?
Where did you find these?
We had a little help.
That's so bad.
Good talk.
What's that?
Thank you. Good talk.
65 miles an hour. That was a big step in my life.
You want to recreate it now? Wait, what you're throwing now?
I'm probably throwing the same speed.
Thanks, Jason. You mind signing this for me?
Is it a little picture of me?
Potentially.
Oh, Lord.
It's on the inside if you wanted to see
Can we
it.
sign on the inside?
You could, but it's up to you.
Oh, my. Wow. That was a golf day in high school. Yeah.
You killed it, though.
I really did kill it.
Kill it.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
Can I show the camera?
That's probably my best day at that week of homecoming. I really put on for the city that day. Really brought out my inner demons that day. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
For sure.
Got a quick question for you before you warm up. Do you mind signing this for us?
Yeah.
Check the inside too after, possibly.
Okay.
Thanks, Hudson.
No problem.
Hey, Adonis, real quick before you go out, I got a question for you. You mind signing this for me?
Signing what?
On the inside.
What you guys got here?
It's good stuff.
Butterfingers. There's no way. What? How did you guys even get this?
We got sources.
Back to the old days. Oh my God. This is crazy.
What belt were you? What belt?
I finished black belt. I did.
That's impressive.
Yeah. I was only a first degree black belt though. There's way more above it.
Sure.
Let me
You can just sign it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Adonis.
Oh my God. That's crazy. I gotta show you guys a trick sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks, Adonis.
No problem.
Great stuff as always, Luke, and maybe sometime down the line we'll have time for a part 2. That's about it for this week's episode, but before we go, let's take a look at this week's upcoming schedule for your Sox. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Tom Sox Weekly, and be sure to check it out for the very latest on your Charlottesville Tom Sox. Also, be sure to subscribe to the On Deck podcast for exclusive content before every game. We hope to see you in the ballpark soon. I'm Landon Weaver, and as always, let's go Sox!